here is my Endnote library. I just, after I downloaded Endnote, after you download Endnote, you can create this library by going like this, File, New, figure out where you want to put it and name the library and then save it. Now I've already done that, and so I have what I call New Demo Endnote Library, and I have some references in the library already. So let me just show you what this looks like. It has each reference. You can click on it, and it has all the elements in the reference, what the reference actually looks like. In the old days, I had to put all this stuff in by hand, and you can still do that. If you do that, you need to make sure that you follow the format of that EndNote uses. It depends very much on these periods, and that the author goes to the next line and so forth, to figure out what's going on. So, but anyway, you can figure that out by looking at a particular reference that's already in there. So you can actually put one in, but it's easier if you just actually bring them in from your search. So, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to Alan's, this is Alan's blog, and I'm going to go to Medline and click on Medline, and here we have Medline search, or search thing. And so I'm going to put in overactive bladder syndrome. That is my interest area, so I'm going to do a search on that. But I'm only going to look at the most recent set of articles. So I'll do a search now. Okay, so I click on search. Now the first thing that comes up in a Medline search is the subject heading, and it asks you what subjects headings you want to use. So I want to use urinary bladder overactive, and I could use urinary incontinence and so forth. These are all subject headings in Medline. But then down here, there's the little one that says MP, is actually the term I put in, overactive bladder syndrome, which Medline actually doesn't use that term syndrome, but I want to see articles that use that term as well as these subject headings, in case there are any that I would miss otherwise. So I click that and this, and then I continue. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that this says that I have 3,618 articles, but 84 of them in the last year. So, so I want to look at those. Actually, the most recent ones are right down here. So I'm looking at these, and I've already looked at the first page and did some of those. So I'm going to go on to the next page, and and bring in some articles here. Here's an article that I might be interested in, and yes, here's one, and the effect of urodynamics, and okay, and then all right, so I decided that these are the articles I want from this page. I find, by the way, it better to export page by page, although it will export more than that. But at any rate, I think it's better to export page by page. So then I'm going to go up to this thing that says export and click that, and I get this export citation list. Now I don't want to export to Microsoft Word. I want to export to EndNote. So I do that. And now so what do you want to export? Just the title and author, or now I like to use the complete reference because it gives abstract and subject headings and a lot of other stuff that might come in handy. All right, so I'm going to export these citations, and what you get is you export this to a file. All right, So in this particular case, I don't know if you can see that, this file name is ovidweb.cgi. So I will save this, and so the next thing you're supposed to do is you're supposed to just click on this like as if you were going to open it, and immediately I get a warning that says it doesn't know what to do with this, and that's because Endnote is looking for a file extension of not CGI, but of OVD. So I go in here to where I saved it. Here it is, and what I do is I just change the file extension to OVD. Now, typically, that's not a great idea, and it will it tells me that it's unusable and so forth, but I say that's okay. And so then I say that, okay. So all right, now I have this. This is the new file name. Now let me just show you what happens now when I open this file. So I'm going to click on this and open it. So what happens is that it brings in the references that I checked, and it adds them to the references that were already in there. So now I have 8 references in there. So here are all the references that I'm interested in, and here is a place where you can tell what what reference style you want to use, and there are many different reference styles available. One of them is Vancouver, and here you can see what a Vancouver style looks like. It numbers the reference and is a little bit different than APA style, which requires that, for instance, the name of the journal is in italics. And so anyway, just whatever you want to do. Now I also have APA 6th in here, and as we'll learn, APA generally doesn't use issue numbers, but Endnote thinks it does. So I've created my own style called APA no issue numbers to get rid of that, and I can show you how to do that if you're interested. But the only time APA uses issue numbers is if the journal is one where each issue starts with page 1, kind of like Time magazine and so forth. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a document that where we're going to enter citations. So as you can see here, once you download Endnote, Endnote becomes attached to your Word program, and so there's actually an Endnote tab here. So I've written this little paragraph, and I've decided that I want to cite something here. So I can go to Endnote, and it brings up my Endnote file, and I can say, okay, I want to insert this citation right where I have my cursor in the other file, and so then I click this little arrow, insert citation, and as you can see, it inserts the citation right there. Nice, huh? So okay, so I'm going along, and maybe I have to cite this paper again. So I go back to my Endnote thing, and I say, okay, I need to bring this in again, cite it again. Now, APA says when you cite it the second time, you don't use all the authors, you just say at all. And see how Endnote knows that? Cool, huh? All right. And then, so I need to cite a few more things here. So I'll go back to EndNote and I'll put put 3 of them in at one time. So if you do Control, hit Control, and you can get all 3 of them to come in at the same time. Then you hit the Insert Citation thing, arrow, and then you see these are all coming in at the same time. I need to make a little space there. Okay, so so now I have all these in at the same time, and so here are my citations. So EndNote does that, but one of the very cool things that EndNote does is that at the end of the document, EndNote has put in the bibliography. So I go down to I actually go down to the end of the document, which I put on the next page, and here are all the citations in APA style that I have brought into the document. This is the real miracle of EndNote, so that you never have to type a bibliography again. Okay.